Hi, I'm the Mimic, and this is Manifestation Minute. I hope I can be the mirror that's reflecting what's already moving inside of you, and in reflection, we can move in a forward direction. So, on this channel, I want to just have fun and help us discover ourselves, learn about ourselves, and we can have fun doing it. Is that learning is a great thing, it's amazing. And sometimes it's hard to want to learn because we can't see the results from it, right? Well, what if I told you that what you learn today matters in 10 years? And I'll stick by that, is that there's nothing wrong with learning, is that learning shows that you have hope and that you have drive and that you want to continue, There's a lot of people who give up on learning, and that's just so sad. And so, if you already vibrate with me, if you're still here, there must be a reason. So, I want us to enrich our lives together, and I want you to do that with me on this journey that I'm on right now. And I just have to get past, you know, um, speaking and feeling seen or heard, because I'm coming from a place of authenticity. Is that I just genuinely want to share what I have to say with you, and I feel like we're all in this together. We're just one great big family. So, with that being said, I want to read you some quantum affirmations that I came up with. Is that, in my life, I dealt with a lot of negative things, that I didn't ask, they were just given to me and I had to deal with them. And I had a lot of choices. I could have chosen to be negative, but my whole life I chose to hang on and to be positive, because there is a reason. There's always a reason. There's a million reasons to smile, and all of you are one of them, and I love you all so much. And it's funny, I said that being said earlier, so yeah, like I said, I'm still getting used to this, but I just want to be vulnerable with you all and show you how much I love myself by just getting past these blocks that I have, and I can observe them as we go along, because this is going to be a little bit of a longer video so that you get to know me. Hopefully, if you have any questions, you can ask them, and I'll be here to answer any questions you have. Silly me, I did buy a microphone, but we'll just do this one without. I'm just happy that I got the lighting right, and everything feels right and right in alignment, And so, yeah, I like affirmations because, like I was saying, coming back to what I was saying, is that dealing with the hardships in life, is that like I found meditation and being a hermit and being alone. And sometimes the isolation hurt really bad. It did, and I wondered why I'd be so alone or why things never worked out. And, it was a lot of it. I had to learn so much, and I had to learn not to project, or I had to learn not to absorb. And that was the biggest thing, is that a lot of the time we feel like we are a product of our environment, but that's not really true. Our emotions are a product of our environment, not our mind. So I was thinking earlier today, like how it's so important to use your imagination. And in earlier days, they really tried to push that, and I didn't understand, you know? And I never really thought of myself as an artist, but the more I pushed it and the more you convince yourself, the more you tell yourself the story of who you are, reality cannot help but make it come true. So if you're a king, if you're a person that loves to help people, then it cannot help but happen. So get this time to just get to know each other. Like I've been trying to tell myself to just relax when I do this video. You know, I've been always driven to excel and be the best at who I am, and to just do everything, and to put the world on my shoulders, and instead of just watch it and enjoy it, you know. And I'm trying to really relearn how to do that. And I just am so thankful for the luxury to be able to get the opportunity to try. So yeah, my life, you know, me saying that it's tough, I'm sure, I know there's plenty of people that have had it tougher. I've made bad choices on purpose, but I've learned from them. And that's what I'm here to share with you, is that I'm speaking from experience and wisdom. And not everything we think might be the wisest choice. So I do want to be excited for this channel and really happy and stuff, but I feel like I just want to be calm because the world needs some clarity and calmness. So in the turbulence of my life, meditation worked at the time, and they'd always talk about abundance and prosperity, and you go, well, where is it? You know, I just worked so hard, but unless you do the inner work, it's not going to reflect on the outside. You know, as long as you continue to choose to feel like life happens to you, instead of asking the deeper question, why it's happening, then you can connect the signs. So that's where manifestation comes into play, is that if you start listening and you come back to it, and you come back and you reaffirm and you reestablish it and you change your identity, is that it can happen. Is that that's why I'm here today, is that I really always grew up in a survival mind state and a lack thereof, and I never really appreciated the person that I looked at in the mirror. Is that I always really would even just say that I was ugly, you know, and I really just despised them. And I, you know, when I would reach getting closer to success, like things that I wanted, I would self-sabotage. And there's this day, I guess I'm being called to talk about it, is that there was a day when it was just even a whole month that the doors were closing, really, is that, like, you know, I'd been helping take care of people, and that was my own choice, you know, but times weren't like they used to, you know. I'd helped plenty of people. I'm right in the room that I pretty much started, and I'd helped a lot of other people find their success and motivate them. And I'd wondered where my blessings were, and just lots of years, just silence, and me just keeping a positive attitude. But back to helping the people, I took on too much, you know, and that was my fault. And then so I really had this really just big drive, and I could still see the big picture, even though that my life was kind of falling apart. I still showed people around me that I was like, there's still hope, and there's still something to live for. Is that I went and got one of my dream jobs, or what I thought was, but it didn't work out. And I'm not going to say what it was or who it was, but I just ended up not getting paid. And then so, you know, I just felt like I'd really just unplugged from my phone and from social media, and I could sit back and observe, and it just was a completely different lifestyle that I wasn't asking for, but I was being told to sit back and relax because I'd worked and worked and worked and worked. And I'm not saying that other people don't, but that's what I'm here to say, is that it's very important to me that try to find another way to live other than just working my life away, because it's not working. And I'm looking for the teachers to show me how to live in accordance with my frequency, if you get what I mean. But besides me, I'm here for the world, and I'm here for you, and I'm here for us, and we're a family, and that's that. And we like to have fun, alright? So let's have some fun. Quantum affirmations take the principles of quantum physics, like superposition, entanglement, and the observer effect, and apply them to the mindset. The idea is to shift from a linear way of thinking, waiting for this to happen, to a quantum way of thinking, collapsing the best possible reality into existence right now in quantum mechanics. And particles exist in all possible states until they are observed. These affirmations help you tap into that field. So, I'm still practicing, but I've written these down, and, my writing was never the best. I used to get very criticized for it, and I was put in multiple different classes. I used to actually spend a lot of time outside of school, actually, already, is that I would go to occupational therapy. And I was very inspired by them because they were very different people. Every single one of them was just extremely unique. And you could never really put your thumb down on one, because each one had their own philosophies on how to possibly heal someone and make them feel better. And I felt like kind of a jester sometimes, and like a class clown anyway, and it just happened naturally. I'd always leave class and people would wonder why, and whether it was for occupational therapy or just therapy. But that all came with time. See, like, I spent so much time in therapy, I was like, I could be a therapist, trust me. But besides that, it's more about the fun side, is that occupational therapists were so fun, is that they actually helped me inspire to be more of who I am all the time. And back to the writing thing, I know I get distracted, I have so much fun with you guys already, is that I was criticized for my writing, and I just always felt rushed in life, and I always felt frustrated, and it was reflected in my writing, and it was very I don't even want to show you guys my writing, but maybe one day. But today I've been really slowing down, and I've been learning how to slow my pace and go much slower into a more feminine sense of energy, invoking my divine feminine, just allowing things to flow. And I get all the time in the world to write, and it's coming out so beautiful. But I can still notice in the beginning, sometimes it's a little chicken scratchy, sometimes a little excited, but I'm so proud of, like, when I see that I just was slowing down and I just made sure that it looked right. So please bear with me if sometimes I have a hard time reading my own writing, okay? Let's go. I am not bound by my past. I am a field of infinite potentiality. In this moment, every version of me, of my success, exists. I choose to align with the highest one. I release and embrace the infinite ways the universe can provide. Now, when I say these affirmations, I hope you're not just looking at me thinking that it's just for me. Affirmations are for you. Is that eventually, after you feed yourself these beautiful narratives, you will believe them undoubtedly, with unbelievable certainty, without a doubt. And I'm not going to promise that your life is just going to be easy peasy by following me and just everything's just going to work out. But I want you to trust me and just hopefully you notice that things do start to work out better. And I hope that what I say